Today we're checking out some new goodies from ModRax. I've never heard of ModRax before until they reached out to me with this beautiful kit that we're going to check out today. This is the MR24. It's a fully CNC'd buggy chassis kit. It's available in 3 different colors, all of which have this gorgeous satin anodizing on it. Very, very nice kit. We also got their shocks on here, which are super cool. And in a follow-up video, I'm going to be checking out their K24 cab kit. Stoked with how this build came out, so let's get in and check it out. I'll show you the kit itself and then the supporting components that we did, and then we're gonna go out and run it and see how it does. So here's the box that this kit comes in. It's very easy to assemble because it's all pretty much fully built. And there's only 200 of these that are being made. So take a look at this thing. So this is a gorgeous kit here. So all 100% CNC machined with this anodizing color on it. I mentioned the 3 different colors. I opted to go with this rose red that they call it, which is a beautiful color, and I thought it played off really well with the silver panels. Now the panels themselves are these kind of satin aluminum with the ModRax decals and this cool topographical livery on it. Not a ton, not enough to clutter it up. You got a little bit on the panel here, a little bit on the corner of the roof, so it's really nicely done. The kit comes with a rear light bar, a front light bar, and also headlights. The rear I've got to look at because it's kind of stuck in police light mode. I don't know if there's a way to toggle that. I really want to get out of that and maybe have like steady state or some different patterns. I can't really tell. The fronts work great. They're extremely bright. These panels are really nice, the way that they contour with the cage here. So you got some small ones here in the back. The hood is recessed underneath the chassis itself. And if you can see, it also has the numbers on it right here. So it looks like MR191. So I got number 191 of this chassis kit. Fit and finish on this is excellent. I mean, it is just stunning to look at. And since it's all machined aluminum, it is very, very rigid. It's fairly heavy. We'll get it on the scales in a little bit. When you get a fully metal chassis kit like this, you're going to have some weight to it. My only gripe, I think, is that the anodizing comes off really easy. And I was just putting the shocks on, and just my driver rubbing against the tubular cage there took the anodizing off. And with that bright aluminum underneath it, you see it right away. So it's a little bit of a bummer because as this thing gets scratched up, you're gonna see the damage right away. The kit comes with just the chassis kit itself, no skid plate or anything. It's made for the C10 JLU Basecamp 4Runner wheelbase, kind of the most popular SCX24 wheelbase. That's what we've utilized here. I imagine you could stretch the rear a little bit if you wanted to. You've got multiple shock positions. You could bring that out a little bit, I think. It would probably benefit from a longer wheelbase, I think, the way that this chassis is elongated. It's kind of longer and skinny. I think longer rear end would help this thing climb better. So probably a C-bolt combo on this would be ideal. For supporting components on it, now one of the reasons why I chose the pink and the rose red is because I had these beautiful Meus Racing V1 isokinetic axles in the pink, and this was a dead ringer for those axles. So I've paired those isokinetic axles with it, which look amazing. Mofo RC, all brass, Black Label 2.0 servo here. The shocks on this are really cool. So I'm running the ModRax ultra thin shocks here. Now these are an internal spring shock. They're friction damped. They're a dual internal spring. And you get 4 different ways to tune these shocks. So you can have full drop, or you can limit them gradually by messing with the internal springs. So you can have a 60%, 30%, and a 0%. When I originally put this together, I was having a lot of troubles with front end lift on these shocks. So I went to the 0% setup, and that just means that it has a ton of force to suck the shock back up into the shaft. And that really helps me control that front end without the need for a limiting strap. So these are really neat. They're around 50 millimeters total length, eye to eye. One of the concerns that I have about these is the collapsed length. At full compression, they're about 34 millimeters, which is significantly longer than, say, a friction damped 51 millimeter, which comes in at around 27 millimeters. So you do get a big shock body here, which is gonna hurt us as far as ride height goes. I initially had some big tires on this. I had the Lucky 7s from Meus Racing on there in the 63, 64 millimeter size, but they were just too big, I felt like, on this chassis. So I went back to the 57 millimeter Lucky 7s, which fit pretty well. And even despite the high ride height brought around by the large collapsed length of the shocks, I think they fit the build pretty well. Those tires are on the Little Guy Racing Parts 1552s, licensed beadlock wheels. They look fantastic. I got heavy rings up front. I got light aluminum ones in the rear to try to bias that weight forward. Underneath, I printed my own skid plate. I just did a white skid plate on here, PLA print. Meus Racing high clearance stainless steel links, C10 length drive shafts with the D-rings. Inside, so I'm going with a brushed setup on this. I've been doing a lot of brushed builds on this. So I've got a Meus Racing brushed transmission in there, all metal. It's very difficult to see, but I did a Mofo RC Nano Beast in 50 size. I love the Nano Beast in the 30 size, been rocking those in the SCX30. Great motor, and in the 50 size, it works excellent. Running that, I've got the Meus Racing ME25 brushed ESC tucked right in there on the passenger side panel. Able to run up to 3S on this. You can see I got my Genzace little 3S battery in there. The combination works excellent. I don't feel the need to go brushless with it. It crawls extremely well. It's got a ton of punch and great slow crawl. So this is a nice way to keep costs down and also have a easily configurable setup in the chassis, because with all the wires and everything, having an Outrunner brushless motor, for example, would be challenging. But with this, I'm able to just kind of squash everything in there and you don't see it that badly. It's overall really cool truck. I am pumped with how it looks. On the setup table with the ModRax, let's do the RTI first. Not bad, right around 13 on the RTI. On the side hill, it's 45, 50, 50, 55. Better than I expected. Now the vertical. See the shocks keeping that front end down. 60. 65, 66. Wow. What was that, 67? Maybe even 68? That was much better than I expected. On the corner scales with the ModRax here, I am shocked by the outcome of this. Check this out, 62% front, 38% rear, total weight 516 grams. I was not expecting to get that great of weight distribution on this. This is with the 3S pack on the side there. Welcome to Mini Moab. This is only the second truck ever to hit this course, at least documented. I've run a couple of my other trucks on here, but time to hit it with the MR24. Let's see how this thing does. Running this on the 3S. And you can see the really smooth throttle output. You still lose a little bit of that ultra slow on the very bottom with the brush setup, but for a brushed setup, affordable, easy to install, this is a great option here. Going into the cauldron. This is our hot tub. Crawling our way out of that. Now, you can start to see the narrative shake up with this thing. We got that exceptional weight distribution, good side hill, good vertical on it. I'm excited to see how this thing does. I found in my practice runs on other trucks that these Lucky 7s, kind of this widely spaced mud terrain style tire, works really good on this course. So it's one of the reasons why I chose these. Let's roll right into Hell's Gate, or Cobra Strike if we've rebranded it. I installed the underdrive gears in the rear to kind of help us with turning with these axles. I've also got the silicone inserts in there from Meus Racing too, the soft ones. So that should help us with side hill. Oh, getting some lift there already. Oh no. Really challenging. We get up to that upper section. It's about 62-ish degrees on the vertical. Oh, getting that lift. Even those shocks are unloading on me a little bit. It's that collapsed length. I just can't get the ride height. down as low as I need it. Oh, just come off there. I don't think you can do it. I'm gonna take the bypass. So our bypass here, which is not easy by any means. So let's see if we get up through this section. This typically favors long wheelbase trucks. With the C10 wheelbase, this is gonna be tricky. This is where I was talking about it could benefit from being stretched in the rear. See, I'm like, we might have to have a bypass for our bypass here. I don't know if we're going to make it up this either. I had a hand of God it there. This is where you want your tires to be, up on top of that rock. Then we're going to come across, and this is going to be tricky because we got to drop that rear. Okay. There we go. There we go. Not quite out of the woods yet because there's another drop over here when we come across the exit of the squeeze or the chute. There we go. I'm going to swing left and come down this rocky section here, and then we're going to go up the broken stair, aka the escalator. With being really heavy in the nose, we'll see how this does on the decline. Not bad. Good brake over there. This is really tricky off-camber section here. I'm gonna shoot it. Okay. We're headed to the escalator. Let's do this. I'm excited for this. Broken stair, as we've rebranded it. Just letting those tires grab. There's a short wheelbase line and a long wheelbase line. I'm going to take the short wheelbase over here on the right, but I do have to be mindful there's a hole in there that can trip us up. There we go. Nice job up there. Try the squeeze just for the heck of it. We had good vertical numbers. Let's see if we can do something in practice. I think we found on Hell's Gate that doesn't necessarily translate on the course because we've gotten a lot of lift on the front with Hell's Gate. This is where the brushless system could have an advantage because I could slow it down a little bit more to see if I could get those tires to bite. The battery died right there on the line. So we're back at it with a fresh pack here. Try to shoot it. I think, should I go for it? Oh, backflipped it. Oh, geez. Nope, I don't think it's gonna happen. All right, guys, this thing was super fun. Looks fantastic. Fit and finish is exceptional on it. This is a very cool truck. One of the best looking rigs I've built in a very long time, I think. Don't let this performance on the course take away from its capabilities. These lines are extremely challenging. For a shorter wheelbase truck like this is going to be very difficult. We'll have to get this out at some of our other crawling spots, but overall I think it did really well compared to many of the other rigs that I've tested out here. Trucks are definitely going to have their work cut out for them on the new setup, but it is wicked fun, and I'm glad I was able to build this thing and take it out and showcase it here for you guys. So I'm going to keep playing around for a little bit, and then I will wrap this up back at the bench. There we go. Nice. Let's talk about the ModRax kit. Visually stunning to look at. Incredible craftsmanship and quality all throughout this thing. Stunning, vibrant colors, and very easy to assemble given that it's all pretty much one piece. It is expensive though. Granted, it is a limited edition, and the full CNC machining process does have a costly price tag. I understand that. At $259 just for this cage though, that's quite a bit of money. I was initially worried about the anodizing getting scraped up and looking aged really quickly, but it took some hard shots both on the indoor course and out on the rocks this weekend and fared up really well. So I think it might have just been the threads from the screws pulling that anodizing off on the rear so easily. We put up some great numbers on the setup table and the corner scales with the weight distribution. I don't feel like that translated into performance, real world performance, as much as I was hoping for. I do think these shocks, as much as I really like the design of these shocks, I do think those hold us back. I love the tuning and the customization that you can do with these shocks, but the collapsed length really hurts us on a build like this because I just can't get it to sit as low as I would like. So I think with a different set of shocks, a lower ride height, we'd see pretty dramatic difference in performance. But overall, this is a cool kit here by ModRax. I'd never heard of them before they reached out to me, but I'm pretty impressed with their stuff. It is pricey though, but if you're in the market for a higher end buggy build, this is a beautiful one to consider. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of this ModRax kit here? And have you used any of their products before? I'll put the full build list in the description, as well as links on where you can pick up all the parts and the chassis that we used in this video. And stay tuned as we build out the KT24 truck cab. This is going to be going on some builds next. And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.